Like, what is it that Shreve Cooper hasn't done that I can say he should do to say he's done it all?
He won that championship. That was it.
You can do everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch Juwan Odom, did I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch Juwan Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. I said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again. Yeah, it's the Love of the Game podcast, man. We in the building. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all know how we do it. It's Thursday night. Ain't nothing on better than us. Snowfall was last night, so it definitely is nothing on TV better than us. Hey, Locke, what you drinking, bro? What's in the glass?
Apple juice.
You should put it in a red cup, dog.
Apple juice.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. That's hen. I'm not buying that apple juice.
I don't drink Hennessy. Oh no, I don't drink that. Man, come on, man. Hey, Hennessy is nasty. Honestly, I'll drink it if it's provided, but I'm
glad
drinking Hennessy years ago.
I'm glad somebody else, one of my other dark-skinned brethren, is gonna admit that Hennessy is gross. It's disgusting.
Nah, Hennessy is not good. It just, I don't know. It's just popular in the black community, but that shit. Like, no, if you say, hey, this a cup, I ain't gonna say no, but I'm not gonna buy it.
Hey, okay, we're gonna get it together, man. We got a young scholar, a young student athlete that doesn't go to parties, that doesn't drink or participate in any of that stuff because he's a future pro, and pros don't do stuff like that.
You must ain't met Lou Williams.
Hey, Locke, I'm glad you wasn't on the bench when he played for the Canes. You a bad influence, bro.
Oh, no. Hey, if I was on the bench, he would have got a lot more playing time.
He got plenty of playing time.
I'm gonna let you know that, DJ. I don't be letting Bryce snatch them kids out. I tell you, man, they stick them in. They let them. I let you play through your mistake.
Hey, Bryce, we're gonna be on your head today, brother. I hope we're gonna be on your neck today.
He got plenty of playing time and plenty of shots.
For those that don't know, if you've been under a rock, we got a great show lined up for you tonight. With this young man, we got the recent South Florida signee, DJ Patrick, in the building. DJ, what's good with you? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. How about y'all?
I can't complain. Other than being stuck with these two guys, man, I can't complain at all. This is great. I'm glad
we honestly were stuck with you.
Right.
We ain't stuck. We stuck.
You the seventh man, my guy. We running the show.
Yep. Hey, listen, I'm gonna sit back and do my thing. I'm gonna wave a towel.
Nah, you got it. Nah, I'm just kidding. You got it. You point out.
I'm gonna be DJ. This is gonna be me being the best teammate that I can possibly be.
Got you.
For these guys. I'm not gonna count. I'm not gonna count on the bench.
You don't have to pay me for playing time. If you're good, I'm gonna let you play.
I think there could possibly be some incentives.
You know what? We getting to that point though, because we get too many kids to the next level for free. So
Here you go. Here you go.
Bryce, are you openly saying that you can be bribed?
Here you go.
Nah, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying I'm just saying we worth a little bit more money than what we get. And I'm at the holler at the general manager or something.
Here you go.
Yeah, you need a raise, man.
Might be time for a little pay increase. You know what I'm saying? You got high major kids and mid major kids, D2, all JUCO, everything.
Hey man, tell Zach, pay me or trade me. That's what you got to walk in and tell him.
Say the thing. Where he gonna trade? You can't trade me nowhere because, where I'm gonna go?
He can trade you the Georgia man up.
Nah,
What's the package? What's the package?
I don't got time to be working from ground zero. I don't got time to be working
Oh,
Wow!
wow.
Hey,
Wow!
if I'm gonna go to a program, it gotta be, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go to Peach Jam or something like that. I gotta go EYB or something, you know what I'm saying? I got time for games,
Boy,
man.
come on, man. This man crazy.
Hey man,
This
hey
man,
man, I hope you get traded to a YBOA team for saying that,
Get there too. Hey, I've been there and done YBA Nationals too. So
man, this is gonna be a great show. Honestly, DJ, I appreciate you for coming. You have a tremendous perspective about Georgia basketball and how just basketball, period, how it works, right?
Mhm.
Great high school player. You come in, great AAU season with the Canes, post grad with TSF, so a lot of information about how post grad works in Georgia. Do your thing at JUCO. A lot of information because a lot of kids are gonna have to consider the JUCO route this year because of COVID, not having a live period until July. So a lot of kids are gonna have to consider that. And then you move on, and now we high major. So a great role, which is something that every kid wants to be. Every kid wants to go D1, go high major, go to a great program. Everybody saw how great things worked out for Caleb Murphy at South Florida. So a lot of great topics to get into. But first, I want to start with something that I saw on Twitter, and I would love to get everybody's perspective of this. And I wasn't planning on talking about this, but it just happened, so I figure like we should talk about it. There was a tweet today that said Ant-Man is the next Michael Jordan.
It's MJ. I seen that.
Ant-Man is the next Michael Jordan. I'm gonna toss that out there. Ant-Man is the next Michael Jordan. Y'all say what?
I'm gonna let
He's
Bryce go
19.
first. He's the coach.
yeah, that's a tough one. You know what I mean? Like for the dude, I know you talking. I saw that tweet. I mean, it's cool for him because he could throw it out there. Why you turn your screen black when it was time for us to talk? I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's tough. That's a tough comparison. You compare, like you said, a lot. You comparing a 19-year-old to Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time.
You reaching.
And I'm not saying that he doesn't have that type of potential, but like that is extremely difficult expectation to live up to. So I don't know.
I feel like we shouldn't.
Maybe
we
talk about
do that.
the way he plays. I don't know. I don't know what his angle is. So it's kind of hard for me to kind of discuss that. But maybe, I mean, I really don't know. I don't know. And I'm like, I can't say no that he's not, because he's an amazing player and he's gonna get better and better. So you never know. But we talk about Michael Jordan, talking about the greatest player of all time. So it's kind of hard for me to say, he's the next MJ. Now, what I will say is, like, the last time I compared somebody to him, it didn't happen. And that was, I thought Victor Oladipo was gonna be the next Michael Jordan.
Oh,
if you watch Victor Oladipo
okay.
Before he got hurt recently in the last couple of years, if you watch him in Indiana, you looking crazy. I mean, but go back and watch his highlights, and then watch the first couple of years in Indiana. He was on track to be something serious. And
I would say he was on track to be something serious, but I wouldn't go as far as MJ. But they play similar. I can see kind of where you got that. Okay.
Right.
I can see where kind of got that. Right.
So, and I mean, maybe that's what he means. I don't know, but I
think it's a reach. That's a reach. I mean, but Ant-Man's been hooping, so like I'm not knocking anybody. He's been doing really well, especially for his rookie season. I think he's probably gonna get Rookie of the Year. But I think it's too soon to label something like that. Like that's big. You can't just kind of just push that out there, and just like.
I mean, we talking about
That's
basketball player of all time. Like
that's tough, right?
yeah,
Like
that's it.
I kind of go here with it, like, and I try to be careful because I really rock with Ant. Like he's, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't that long ago that we were screaming to people everywhere else, like how good that he was, right? But MJ, like you gotta, to me, I guess this is my threshold. Like you gotta win.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you gotta go win a championship.
No, you do.
But you do have to not well, and I'm gonna say this to be fair, right? Like I didn't start the LeBron MJ discussion with LeBron's first championship. Right? To me, it became serious when you scored 28 points in a row against the Pistons,
that was tough.
Who was the best team in basketball and being compared to one of the best dynasties of all time at that point, and you eliminate them from the playoffs, and Boobie Gibson is the next best player on your team. Like, to me, that's when that whole could he be one of the greatest players of all time discussion started. And that happened in the Eastern Conference Finals. So to me, for Ant, it's the same. It's like, I feel the same way about Ant as I felt about Trae Young, and why I didn't get on the Trae Young bandwagon so hard so early, because you got to win. You got to get your team to the playoffs. You got to do something in the playoffs. Like you gotta win.
Yeah.
But DJ, for you, the reason why I thought this was such a great topic, because you played in that same era in high school with these guys. Mm-hmm. Was there anybody that was feared, like, or was there anybody that everybody was geared up to go play in the same way that people was geared up or feared MJ?
I don't know if it was like a. I mean, probably yeah. They were excited to play maybe like an Ant-Man or at McKeecher when it was Sharif and Isaac. You know, I mean, when you play the top guys, that's what you want. You're excited. You want to pumped, especially when you're the underdog. You want to show everybody what you have. So I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of like excitement with competitors and dudes that went up against them, but I don't think there was like a fear, and I mean that respectfully. I don't think so.
That's fair. Yeah. Was there anybody that even maybe that you didn't play against, maybe that you train with, or open runs where you was like, yo, like this dude on another level? Like we're all good, but this dude is something different.
I remember I went to, this is when Colin was in his senior year. I went to a workout with him and a couple other guys. At that point, I was like a sophomore. I didn't work out. I was just watching. I was good with just watching. Mm-hmm. But I was just watching just the way that he moved, the way that he would be talking trash in the drill sometimes. And I would just be looking at him and because I said, yo, y'all want to do 1v1s. And some of the guys did. Colin just kind of stayed over there, and like nobody really wanted to play against Colin. And that kind of just let me know. I was like, oh, he must be something serious, because ain't nobody asked him to play with. Ain't nobody asked him to play with us. That's one dude I really want to play against, because I really like him. I mean, when freshman year to now, I mean, I watch his highlights all the time, just because I just love him, man. I love him.
And that's crazy with all the stars that have come through Georgia basketball. It's crazy and crazy to outsiders, I think, but not crazy to us. That Colin was probably more feared than Jaylen Brown or Wendell Carter, people who are more physically imposing.
Yeah.
But they weren't nearly as feared. Like,
and you got to look at somebody like Colin, Dre, and me. I mean, obviously, if I'm playing Wendell Carter, yeah, he's probably gonna back me down. You know what I mean? Like he's way. I mean, he's gonna it's obviously gonna happen. But if I'm playing somebody who's my size, basically, maybe even a little smaller, this guy's my size and he's stronger than me. You know what I mean? He can break me down. He got the bop. He can break me down off the triple threat. Like, how do I guard this guy? And I think
he's gonna talk crazy to you the whole time.
He's gonna talk shit to you.
He's gonna talk to you the whole time.
So I think that's why people probably, they probably feel him like, what am I taking away from him? Like, there's nothing that you can just hope he miss. You know what I mean?
What Colin did, he went at you and he put on the show.
Yeah. He wanted to be the show. Yeah, he wanted to be the show.
And it was like you was gonna be a part of his show. You was gonna be a feature.
Yeah.
On his show.
Like you saying Colin had people on the album credits?
Yes.
No, for real. I mean,
yes.
I don't know if y'all remember that game where he was at Holy Innocents against IMG and Trevin Duval.
Yes.
Dude. That game was insane.
Man, you seen him coming, calling elbows, running that shit to me.
Hey, so what type of stuff would he say in workouts or on the floor? Like, what is he saying? We see him talking, but we don't know what he's saying.
Sometimes he'll say, like, in a game, like I've heard him, and obviously when I was at Westlake, we played against him. But like sometimes he can say, like, I'm gonna score this next time. Like, watch this shit.
Yeah.
And he tell the other bench that, like, I'm about to score this next possession. And he does it. And he goes and does it. Like, stuff like that.
This the funniest thing I've seen. We was in DC at the event. Me, Matt, the mayor, son. And he missed like a free throw. And when he missed, he walked up to the rim and started looking at the rim and told the ref, "It's something wrong with the rim because I don't miss free throws." I was like, what? That was like, I'm like, this man crazy.
To be a high school kid and to have that kind of confidence in yourself, but also to be like to the point where you're saying stuff like that is extremely different. You know what I mean? Like, because you're young. Like, you're young like that. I don't miss free throws. What the hell wrong with the backboard? It must be crooked. It's something. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people just don't have that. They don't have it, man. He's one of a kind for real.
Is there anybody else, DJ, that you came through playing with? Because you came through during a really competitive time in Georgia basketball. Like, what are some of your favorite moments or some of the favorite guys you like to compete against?
I don't know if y'all remember Marquis Brown.
Yeah.
Played with him I played with him at TSF, man. I loved competing with him. He'd be talking trash. I'd be talking a little trash too, and then we just get to going. You talk about a teammate. I loved him as a teammate, man. I called him the other day. We still like this. So I would say going through Georgia basketball, like he was definitely one of the guys that I liked. But I mean, like you said, I mean there was a lot of guys, especially in my era. There was just high competition. So
it was a ton of guys in Cobb County when you played.
Yeah.
Might have been the best era or one of the best eras of Cobb County basketball when you came through.
One of. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's safe. That's safe to say.
Any moments that you would pick out of your high school career and say, like, I'll never forget this, or I'll never forget this game or this moment?
I'll never forget when I when I dunked on somebody off a drop step. So with most people that know me, I'm athletic, but I don't really be dunking like that. So when I'm coming off the baseline off the left side corner, my point guard comes down the middle. I cut. he hit me on the bounce pass. I just get it, and I just like went up, and dude had like went up with me, and I just dunked all on him. And like that just stuck with me because I was just like, dang, like I haven't really tried that ever. So you know what I'm saying? So like that felt good, but now I'm really on Vertimax like every other day. I'm trying to get my bounce up so I can do that a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. It was that a moment where you was like, yo, like I'm nice.
Oh yeah. yeah. That was one of the moments.
Do you remember what school you was playing? Because we're gonna try to figure out who you dunked on.
Hey, I know he did a lot of dunks at South Cobb.
Oh yeah, I did a few dunks at South Cobb. I did.
I was at a few of those games, baseline.
Poor Moultrie. But no, we celebrate Georgia basketball, especially Georgia high school basketball on this show. One thing that's great about having you here is because a lot of times we celebrate kids that get these offers. Mm-hmm. And then we don't show enough love to kids once they get to college. You know what I mean? Especially kids that go the route that you went, going post-grad, going JUCO. Like I feel like we got to do a better job. This is me admitting what we need to do better of showing love to those kids to make sure that the rest of the people who are following in your footsteps understand that it's a different path. It ain't always McDonald's All-American, ESPN Top 5. We get a lot of those, but it's different routes to get to where you want to be. What was going through your mind? Because I know you had some offers coming out of high school, but didn't have, I guess, what you felt like was the right situation or the right fit for you. What was going through your mind as the AAU season came to an end and you decided, you know what, I'm going to keep working and I'm going to go to TSF for post-grad?
Well, yeah, so like when I left high school and I went to Georgia Canes, I picked up some offers in I think it was the second live period. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was after the second live period. It was from Army and Radford. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I prayed about it and I was like, I'm not feeling, they wanted me, like they loved me. Like they were sending me letters like every day. And it wasn't like I didn't feel wanted. I just didn't think that was the place for me. So, we did some research. We found out about I had heard about TSF, just by word of mouth from some of the guys at high school. And then I got to go to the practice, and that's when I met Coach Rob, who is now at Illinois State, which is awesome. But
congrats to Coach Rob, man.
Yeah, congrats to him. I mean, he deserves it. But anyways, like just going to TSF, I just had to bet on myself because I know I worked hard. I work harder than anybody I've ever played with. Yeah. So, knowing that, I just continue to just kind of keep grinding. So yeah, I mean, out of TSF, I had some looks, and then we went to the Czech Republic. Went to the Czech Republic in Europe. And first game, I sprained my ankle. It was pretty bad, and I was out. And so the interest that I had from the colleges, from the college coaches and stuff like that, like I had workouts planned for when I got back. It was a no-go, and then COVID hit, and that didn't help anything. So, that's how that went.
I would say about DJ, he's to me an example of somebody who, like, when I think of betting on yourself, like he's that person that I think of because he, like he said, he could have went somewhere. He could have went earlier, and it's no disrespect to anybody who was recruiting him at that point, but he felt like he wanted something else. Even like we were like, man, you sure you don't want to go there? Like, sure? So, but looking back on it, You know what I mean? Even as a coach, I look back on it and I can't be mad at it because it's like, you know, if I was in his shoes or if I was in the same position and he wanted and I want to bet on myself, then I believe that I can do this. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's for anybody watching or any kids or whatever, you know, like you said, Dre, there's different routes to get to where you want to be. And he's an example of betting on yourself. You know what I mean? Like I had to go this route to get here to get where I want to be. And obviously he's still not done. Like he's still going to have work to do. Like the work honestly is probably just now started. You know what I mean? But it's an example of like Dre, we can always say, well, DJ Patrick's an example of betting on yourself. And now we have kids now who, yeah, they're probably going to have to go to prep or JUCO and bet on themselves. So it's a good example for them to see that it can get done.
Yeah, and DJ, we got some questions in the comments section for you. I'm gonna put those up on the screen here in just a second. But I do want to ask Bryce and Locke this one question: Does DJ's success, or has DJ's success with betting on himself, changed you guys and how you advise kids with their recruitment at all?
I think now because of COVID, like if in a perfect world, it would. You know what I mean? Because then I would say, well, you could do this and do that. You know what I mean? Maybe if you don't want to take what you have right now. But right now, because of COVID and coaches haven't been out in over a year, like I know the kids that we have now, and if some of them had an offer Division II or Division I and they're 2021, like you probably got to take it because you're not going to get the opportunity to play in live period. You missed live period last summer. You're going to miss live period in the spring. So either you know what I mean? Like, so what are you going to do? You're either going to go the prep route or you're going to go JUCO if you don't like what you have. Like you don't have as many options as DJ had at the time. They had the opportunity to play, you know, like numerous live periods where, you know what I mean? They could take different routes. So yeah, it has changed. And, you know, for me, yes, I can say, yeah, that has changed my perspective a little bit. But now because of COVID, until COVID is over, like if a kid has a Division I offer, you might have to really consider that because you may not get enough. These kids and the coaches are looking in the portal. You know what I mean? They're looking at junior college kids, at old heads. So, but yeah, in the back of my mind, I'm like, you know, even with some kids now, I'm like, well, man, you can go prep, and if you and the kid will be like, well, what if I don't get anything? Well, you can go JUCO. You know what I mean? So now we do have an example of somebody who's done it. So yes.
So with me, it didn't really change my perspective because I already knew what JUCO. Like I'm big on JUCO basketball. So like Bryce said, this was their first time having DJ Patrick go through the program, but I've been seeing it, seeing people go to MGP, seeing people going to Hardgrave, seeing people go to TSF. I think DJ Patrick was the first one for the Georgia Canes to see, and for Bryce to see it. Oh, like this kid go to prep because like prep's been around. Right. So I think with DJ Patrick being the first one in the program, I think it's, you know, it opened a lot of people's eyes. Because it's been going on for years, but I think now it sort of blew up on social media a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like now that he did it, so he basically like setting an example, like, okay, he betted on himself. Because I like Bryce said, we used to say all the time, why in the hell DJ ain't going to Radford? Like we used to say that all the time.
He's not the only kid. We had other kids who were like, what are y'all doing? Like, you have something, you know what I mean? You're playing as an unsigned senior. The goal is to get something that's your level and move on. But, you know, and even with that group too, I look back at that group and say, man, I had no idea. Like at the time, like I knew they were good. But I had no idea what we had. You know what I mean? Like, you look at that team and it's probably 5 or 6 Division I guys on that team. And maybe at some point 2 or 3 pros. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that. I was putting the pieces together and trying to just win as much as I could. Because the summer before, I couldn't win a game in live period. So I'm like, nah, I'm not going out. You know what I mean? So my goal was to come back and prove that I belong too. That I could coach at that level, at that high level. So, I just didn't know, you know what I mean? And I know that even the year before, the group before, when we had unsigned kids, our goal was just like, okay, we trying to move you up and get you to school like by May or June or whatever the case may be. So with DJ Patrick and CJ Jackson and Terrell R, we looking at them like, bro, y'all got stuff. What y'all doing? What you want to do? But all of them, even especially DJ, they were like, they really bet on themselves. They're like, man, I think I can play at this level. So you can't be mad at them. And I think it's also good because you can look at a lot of kids now who don't understand what the basketball grind is. And the basketball grind doesn't necessarily stop when you graduate high school. If you wanted to, it can stop. You know what I mean? But like, you look at DJ, he 2 years, you know what I mean? Like, he's still grinding. He's still trying to get better, still trying to get prepared for the next level. And a lot of kids don't see that. And a lot of parents don't see it too. They're like, well, what if he doesn't get any offers by May? Well, if he wants to continue and pursue this, he's just starting, honestly. Like, this is the grind. It's just now starting. So,
you know what, though? I just think what you said about the parents, they don't want to do that route because it's not sexy. It's not a pretty route. Like what DJ did, he went to TSF then. What DJ, you went up north. You went the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you went there. So it's like, it wasn't a set. That's going to prep, going to JUCO is, especially, I'm going to be honest, especially for Atlanta kids, players from Atlanta, it's not the sexy route because we see so many players go Division I.
Right.
But it's so many players went, like we talk about Clarence Jackson that's at Wichita. He went to prep MGP, went to Polk State, and he's Division I. So like I say, he's not TJ Patrick's not the first one, but it's not a sexy route.
Yeah. And it's
not an easy route.
It's not easy.
Yeah, no, not easy at all.
I want to get into this as we talk about the fact that it's not easy. Question from the comment section was to DJ was, how was your post-grad year at TSF, and would you recommend a high school kid to do a post-grad year?
Okay, so my post-grad year was it was actually fun. With the team that we had 5 guys go D1, 6 guys go D1. Kai went,
didn't you?
Yeah,
Was
he went. Yeah, he came in a little bit later, not too late though. He went to the G League. Now he's in Australia. He's playing for a team in Australia. But I mean, it was a good year. I had a lot of fun. We did a lot of things. I learned a lot. That is where I think I elevated my game to about another 2 levels, because I mean, I got the mental side of the game not fully down, but I kind of got some of the tips and tricks of like simple things like cutting, coming off the ball screens like a pro, just stuff that just TSF kind of just taught me. This year, because of COVID, I would not suggest going to a prep school. If you want to be recruited within the next year, I would suggest going JUCO. And the reason why is because, I mean, from a coach's perspective, coaches look at the transfer portal first, then they look at JUCO kids, then look at prep school, then they look at high school.
Yeah.
So if you go to prep school, I mean, unless you drop in 30 a game, or unless you're on like a nationally recognized team like TSF or IMG, it's going to be, or Hargrave, it's going to be harder for you to get that opportunity because of how COVID just set things back. And normally, I would say, yeah, go prep, so you don't have to waste that 1 year of eligibility. But and plus there's advantages to JUCO. I mean, you're playing older dudes, you're playing bigger dudes. Like the competition doesn't go down. There are guys in JUCO that can hoop. It's just their grades. It's just their grades, But there's some dogs in JUCO. Dogs.
I want to get into that, DJ. Like, tell everybody like what a typical day, a typical post grad day is like in comparison to what it was like in high school.
So at TSF, we didn't really have school. So, normal postgrads, they had school, but we didn't. So I would, I get up, go to practice. I always carry my gallon because if you didn't have that gallon, you was going to run. So we'd probably go to the weight room, lift for about an hour. Then we'd practice for like 3 or 4. Maybe do some skill work after and then just get out. And then, it was kind of like that on repeat. It depended. Sometimes we did yoga. Sometimes, I remember one time early in the season, we went out and we went through the woods and we were just running after coach, and we had to find our way back. It was like a little test or whatever. It was pretty cool. But that was a really fun experience. I loved it.
So morning weights, and you said a practice for 3 or 4 hours.
Oh yeah. It was.
And
it
then
was like,
individuals after that.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
See, this is the part of it, and I'm glad you said all of that because I feel like this is the part of it that kids don't necessarily understand what they're signing up for.
Yeah.
And what it takes to transform yourself into a player that can play at the level that you believe you can play at.
Right.
We're talking about weight room, at least an hour, I would imagine, 45 minutes, an hour in the weight room, a 3 or 4 hour practice. That's a 5-hour day. Then an individual after that. We're talking about a 6-hour day of straight basketball.
Sounds like a real work day.
It's a commitment.
When there are kids right now that are complaining about a 2-hour training session.
Or a couple games on Saturday.
If you want to transform yourself, if you believe, and that's the only problem that I have with kids that say, I want to bet on myself. I want to bet on myself. Are you willing to go put in that 6-hour, 7-hour work day every day to win the bet?
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of a question that I kind of asked some of the guys that were behind me, like at Sprayberry, who haven't really gotten what they wanted in terms of offers, and they're thinking about going to a prep school, or thinking about going to a JUCO, and I kind of say like, yo, don't waste your time if you don't love it, if you don't love this game, because if you don't love this game, like, and you keep doing the same thing that got you into the place that you are right now, I mean, you're just wasting your time and your money, and your parents' money, really. But that if you really love this game and you really want to go to the level that you think you can go to, you got to show it in your work. You have to. That's what I did.
That's an important soundbite right there, because even as coaches, we'll have kids that want offers that, can play, but when they don't get what they feel like they're, I guess, what they entitled to, or they feel like in their mind they get, they stop putting that work in, or they're not really putting the work in like they should anyway. Even in practice, I can tell if some kids are getting up 300 extra shots a day, and I'm not even with them but once or twice a week. I can tell. You know what I mean? So if I can tell and you're not doing it, then how do you think you're going to get to that level? Because this is the bare, like we're asking you to do the bare minimum. So when you really got to, what's college programs are asking you to do, you're not doing this, so you don't love it.
Right.
That's the tough thing. And that's what I don't want to do that to discourage or diss anybody or whatever, but when we talk about somebody that bet on themselves and made it, the story will be incomplete without telling the truth. And this part of it, Locke, I think I know what you just. I might know what you just saw. It's on my phone too. We might talk about it later. I don't want to talk about it right now. It's if it's what I think it is, it's bad. I want to put the next question up from the chat was DJ, were you shocked at the athleticism and the great players at the JUCO level your first year?
Athleticism, no. I mean, you get athletes everywhere. Whether that's an AAU, prep school, JUCO, pro, whatever, you're gonna get athleticism everywhere. But there were a few instances where I encountered some guys at JUCO where it was just like, oh, why are you here? It's just like, yo, this dude can hoop. Like I remember, like there was one of my teammates from Triton. He man, I had to lock in and focus when I was guarding him because I was like, bro, he's gonna get a bucket if I don't take him seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like there are guys that can hoop who just had a bad beginning, or they slacked off in school, or whatever the story may be. There is still JUCO basketball is not trash. I think that's a misconception that people have. That some people have, at least.
Does it matter in your opinion, having experience playing it? Does it matter? JUCO D1, JUCO D2, JUCO independent. Did you see big differences in the level?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I think that kind of goes back to just knowing who can hoop and knowing who can hoop, but but is not really consistent, or knowing who's just kind of just good. I think that's all. I think that's all that is too. I mean, for me, I've seen a lot of basketball so far, so I can tell. I can look at a guy and just be like, yeah, he's D1. He's gone. Yeah, like he may not be mid-major. He's D1. Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
Gotcha. Best player you faced at the JUCO level?
Best player I faced at the JUCO level.
Any scary guys where you was like, yo, this dude.
You know what? If you can't think of that, think of the best team, the best JUCO team, where you was like, man, those some gorillas.
Well, I got two for you. So the best player, like I said, was my teammate. That was the best dude I faced. I was just like, okay, this dude's something serious. And then we played a team. It was John A. Logan. They were the number 4 team in the nation. Yeah, John A. Logan, number 4 team in the nation. They had a dude that's 6'8". I mean, this dude was a Hulk, strong body, and I mean, he was huge. He's going to Kansas. He's going to Kansas.
Oh, wow.
And then they had a 7-footer. And that game was tough for us. That game was tough. I had like 21, but that game, really, that game was. I was like, oh snap! Okay, these guys are kind of real. Like it wasn't no joke with them.
Guys got to understand, man, the level that they want to get to, it's tough. Let's talk about your recruitment a little bit. What how did that process go as far as your recruitment? Did it ever get to a point, because you dealt with it in high school some, you said you had some schools that really liked you, you had some interest and stuff at TSF and post grad. I imagine some schools that were reaching out to you in high school still communicated and tracked you. And now JUCO, you're being recruited again, and then you get a blitz of offers right while you're in JUCO. Did you ever get tired of evaluating and tired of that process, or were you just as committed to finding the right fit as you were?
I would say I did get tired of it, and it's crazy because that summer when I didn't have nothing, like that summer when I left TSF and I didn't have nothing, I was emailing coaches, my game film. I was emailing everybody. It felt diminishing to me, but I was just like, I if I want to go somewhere, I got to do something. So, me and my dad, I love my dad. I'm so thankful for him. But, we just sat down and emailed like a whole bunch of coaches that year, and to go into the next season and to literally every time I checked my phone, there was a new coach. Like every time, either a new coach or there was the same coaches texting me, calling me, something. And so, during the season, I'm trying to focus on, still getting better, still maintaining, my current rhythm. And it kind of got to me that it was just tiresome. I almost told all the coaches, yo, just contact my dad. I'm just trying to focus on, what I got going on right here. But I think when South Florida kind of got introduced into the mix, I was like, I like this look. I like it a lot. When I committed, everything just kind of just went silent. So, but I will say it was a little tiring, which is a blessing, honestly.
Was Larry Dixon the guy that recruited you at South Florida?
Yeah. So Miss Coach Dixon and Coach BG, he had a lot to say in his recruitment. So that's when I knew I was in good hands. Head coach, when the head coach is calling you every other day, that's a good sign. So
definitely. Shout out to Coach Dixon, man, friend of the show, good dude. How much did Caleb Murphy's success at South Florida play into your recruitment? Did it help seeing another Georgia guy really go there and get it done, or did that not kind of matter?
I would say like in between. Like it helped. I was like, okay, he's a good point guard. Like he's good. And then at the same time, I was like, but I think this is a good fit for me. Just just thinking about me and being selfish in that kind of regard. I would say, but I looked at I remember when he was at Norcross, and not Norcross. Was it Norcross? I don't remember. But
Norcross State Grayson.
Yeah. I remember that game, and I remember watching them play. And then when South Florida had started looking at me, I kind of started looking at his highlights. And then when I committed, I started just looking, at what he did, just looking at see how good he was. And he's good. So I'm looking forward to playing with him.
Good stuff. We were talking a little bit offline about a particular game that Bryce subbed you out, and he shouldn't have taken you out of the game.
Here we go. Here you go.
Who are y'all playing against? Y'all probably was at McKeitry.
And why did Bryce take you out of the game? Who did he put in?
I don't know. I think he put in PJ.
Before you answer this question, can I just say this one thing? So, with every player that...
Are you going to apologize now?
I don't apologize to no.
No, get it out. Say what you're going to say, because I'm going to let you know if it's kept or not.
What I'm about to say is, when you have a group of a bunch of different kids and you're playing in a live period, you're preparing for live period to try to get them offers, you don't got to give me the elbow in the sleep. What you're trying to do is...
I'm just trying to figure out what store you copying your pleas from.
I'm not copying no pleas. All I'm saying is the goal is to get the group to be one unit as fast as possible. And
so you're trying to say he was gunning? That's what you're trying to say?
Sometimes.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That DJ did see a shot that he didn't like. I ain't gonna even lie. Hey, my boy Jack City. He was jacking everything.
The only thing I wanted DJ to understand was like, and I felt like my job was done when he got it. I'm like, okay, you figured it out. Move on to wherever you're gonna go. The one thing I wanted him to understand was your shot selection. Now, you can go for 20, you can go for 25, but it's gotta be 6 or 9, 5 or 7.
Yeah.
Like that. And eventually he got it down. And now it took him a little while, but when he got it down, he didn't miss any shots. So he ain't missed. I let him shoot as much as he wanted to.
Hey, we will call it DJ 30 for 30. Either he gonna take 30 shots or he gonna give you 30 points.
He was getting it all.
My boy 30 for
30. Hey, Austin, we got smoke for you too, my boy. Was that your handiwork, Austin?
Oh, Austin was texting him in the car, but the thing was, I also couldn't take DJ out long because even now I tell kids like he didn't take it off on defense.
He played hard.
Yeah, he played hard. Every possession. So if he had to guard a point guard, he would come out here and guard a point guard. If he had to guard a forward, he would guard a forward. So even if we took him off, I had to put him back in. You know what I'm saying? So the one thing that group did for me as a coach was show me like, okay, how
made you look good. What you mean?
Well, they made me look good, yes. but how hard you can play when your back is against the wall, when you hungry. And all the dudes were hungry. And they was like, this is my time. And they went out and did what they had to do. So
I agree with you on that, Bryce.
Now you can answer your question. I'm done.
Oh man. I don't remember who we played, but it was a close game. Close game at the end of the game. He subs me out. I remember. I think it was for PJ. And I'm sitting there. I was blue. I was like, yo, he really like for real. Like this is like I felt so disrespected. Like, I was like, wow, like this is crazy. So then, I get subbed back in with like a minute to go. Where we were losing by like 2.
I know. Okay, I know what game this is.
Yeah. We get the ball back. CJ has it on top of the key. He's about to pull it. I just yelled. I said, CJ. He said he swung it. And I hit the game winner. That was a dagger at least.
You know what? We were so good that I wasn't worried. Like even if it was, I would sub somebody out. Like I didn't care because I knew like you had to really beat them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you had to beat them. And not only did you have PJ, you had like Javon Tucker, who's at you had a lot of, you had Kendall Layton, who in my opinion was a Division I player. He's Division II. So you had a dude. So I was just like, hey man, just come sit down for about 30 seconds. We'll put you back. I ain't worried about it. We still gonna win the game. Like I wasn't worried about it.
Hey DJ, so Rick Pitino was at Kentucky, and his 1996 Kentucky team had like 10 guys that ended up in the NBA. Best team Rick Pitino has ever had. And it followed him throughout his career. No matter what he did, everybody expected him to have another 96 Kentucky team. He had to constantly remind people, hey, I can't recruit that type of talent anymore. Like, you're not going to see that team again. Were you guys Bryce's 96 Kentucky team? Were y'all the best that he's ever going to have?
It's tough to say that because you don't know what the future holds, but I will say we're number 1 for a little bit.
That was a good squad.
Nah, that was a high level.
I mean, with me, Rail, CJ, JD. I mean,
they was loaded, man.
Kendall, I mean, like dog, we were tough.
Yeah, they was loaded. My phone run all day long after live. I'm like, bro. But even you know what though, this group I had this year, even though they didn't play in live period, and a lot of them committing and stuff like that, they may not have been as deep or as talented, but they were close. They were real close. So they're real close. But nah, that team, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get a group that good again.
Bryce, with all due respect, I like your unsigned team. They are not close.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, I think if you match up, if you match us up,
it's been a good matchup.
If you match us up, I don't know.
They don't have the same amount of length.
I don't think they don't have.
Nah, we still had Quadre too coming off the bench.
Oh yeah, very true. I remember him. Yep.
It was a lot. It was real easy to coach that summer. All I had to do was really just make sure everybody played and passed the ball. They knew how to play.
Yeah.
Hey, Bryce was pacing up and down them sidelines like he was really working that summer too.
I wasn't
You
working.
weren't doing no work, Bryce.
The only game I was
You're
working.
an amazing team. You weren't doing no work.
The only game I was working was that first live period game. 6 o'clock, we played Emory's team. I was a little nervous on that one. But after I seen how good they were, the rest of this, I was like, man, they got this. I ain't got to stand up anymore. I can just chill.
Hey, man, Bellarmine is not D2 anymore. They're D1.
They're D1.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it was great, man. And I'm happy for you, DJ. We got to bring you back on after you are playing at South Florida, doing work at South Florida. We got to check in on you again, man, because kids got to understand not only, to me, your journey is special about what it takes to get to be high major, but also once you get there and get in the mix, it's going to be great to bring you back to help people understand what it takes to stay.
Right. Yeah, that's the.
They're going to need to know that.
Yeah, and to prosper. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Can't wait to watch you play, my man. Can't wait to have you back. It's going to be great. We're already understanding. I feel like you've learned how to work, and that's one of the biggest pieces of it. You've learned how to really work. So I think you're going to get there and do great.
Appreciate it, man. I can't wait to be back on here. Talk about all the stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. Bryce can't pull you out no more.
Oh, yeah. No more.
He ain't got to worry about me. He got to worry about BG now, my guy. Hey, you got bigger fish right now, shit.
No, salute to you, man. Much success. Blessings to you and your family, too, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. You too.
All right.
All right, DJ.
All right.
Good kid, man. It's one of our best interviews, I think.
Hell yeah.
Good kid. Do we want to talk about the depressing news right now?
I really
don't. I don't even want to get on the mood.
Let's hope that this is not true.
I don't even want to talk about it. Did y'all see the Dipset video at the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden?
I did.
I think I saw that a while back.
If it wasn't so long, I wanted to play it on the show, but it's kind of long.
The Knicks are back too, by the way.
So, hey, who had the best bars in the video live?
I gotta go. I listened to it twice, but I have to sit back and get in my zone, then listen to it.
Hey, man, tell me that Jim Jones don't have the best bars on that video. Like,
I gotta go back and listen.
Don't know.
I did like Jim Jones bars. I did like that. He did have some. He said some stuff, but I gotta go back and listen to it. I gotta keep listening.
The New York Knicks released a video of Dipset rapping in the middle of Madison Square Garden. For those who don't know,
I saw that
on my Twitter.
Hey, so you know what I was thinking? If we was Dipset, what characters would we be? I know who I know who I'll be.
That's a good question. I want to know who Bryce would be from Dipset.
Bryce got to be Cameron. He's the only one that can wear a pink coat.
No, I'd have been who else because I don't have that. Cameron got a different. His persona is like not like mine. He real bold. Real bold.
I think I'm Jim Jones.
You the muscle?
That's what
I ain't got to be the muscle. Yeah. Hey, I'd have been on Love and Hip Hop.
That's a good question, Locke.
No, I was thinking about it when I watched the video. I said, "Dang, who relates to these guys more? Like, who would we be if we was Dipset? If we was Dipset of Atlanta?"
Does that make me Cameron?
I don't want to be Cameron, but I feel like I can relate to him a lot more.
I felt like I was Jim Jones, somebody playing the background at first.
I think Locke is Cam for sure.
Yeah, I felt like I was Jim Jones. Yeah. Hey man, Knicks basketball is back. I guess we are talking about the Knicks basketball. Hey, Nash Kelly on here talking about let's talk about Willard back to back. Like we talk about Willard a lot.
Yeah, he's late. Hey, Nash Kelly gonna do big things next year.
That's a fact.
He's at East Georgia, right?
Yes, sir.
That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
Nash, can't wait to watch you play basketball again, buddy. That's for sure. The New York Knicks is back. The New York Knicks.
One of my favorite players. I'm a big fan of Julius Randle. I was a big fan in Kentucky. I was a big fan when he was with the Lakers.
That is one of those things. That was one of those things that I say to players of keep working, because I felt like Julius Randle was always good, but he learned how to win in the NBA. He learned how to win, and he's doing his thing, man. Congrats to the Knicks. He's leading a team right now.
Hey, I saw Julius Randle play for the Lakers, and I actually saw him in person, like leaving out of the gym one day. That dude is massive.
Huge.
He is the cornerstone. He could be that guy for the Knicks for a long time. Like, this dude is massive. The Knicks are back.
Oh man.
The Wizards have won 6 in a row too, I think.
Yeah. Ever since Stephen A. pissed off Westbrook, the Wiz have been winning. Do you want to thank Stephen A?
I don't know who to thank. I don't know.
Bryce don't want to jinx it.
I think it's towards the end of the season. And they trying to just win some games, put a streak together, make it seem like they doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Talking about where we at this weekend. We're at McEachern.
I'm gonna be at Marietta High School and Wheeler. I'm watching the younger kids.
You gonna watch my 15s?
I'm watching 15s, 16s, and 14s. Then I'm gonna go help coach 17s with Bryce.
I got an interesting 15U player that actually came to me from Saginaw, Michigan. If you care to go watch, Locke.
Really? What time? Send me the schedule.
I'll shoot you the schedule. But this kid, Shadell Beecham, is from Saginaw, Michigan, playing with us this summer. And about 6'2", nice handle, soft touch. Like, yeah, all right. Bro, all right.
I'm gonna have to catch him, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed watching the younger kids this past weekend than I did the older kids. Like, it was very refreshing to see. It's a ton of talent in Georgia, like outside throughout the state. I seen a kid out of Savannah that was pretty good. One of Rob's and Hype South team came with some nice kids. Watched the Atlanta Celtics 8th grade. Watched Norcross Heat 8th grade. It's a ton of talent, but I think what I'm seeing this year. Well, I'm just seeing lately, our shoe teams are not that strong.
I'm gonna say there's a lot of teams that are overrated. When I look at schedules and matchups,
hey, Game Elite is a totally different team without Scoot. I tell you that. Like, they still good, but
no, they look good. Hey, shout out. Hey, Parrish look.
He been playing all right. He's
been playing all right. Paris Johnson been playing all right, man. He's been. But man, is what I'm noticing, like especially when we play against teams that all the out of state shoe teams came and ran us out the gym at Lake Point.
Like, so I'm gonna ask you a question, just to piggyback on your question, Locke, and I want to come right back to you so that you can answer the question. When ESPN released their rankings for 2022. it didn't look like it normally do for Georgia. Are we falling off a lot?
I don't think we're falling off. I just think because of course we all noticed Bruce Thornton wasn't on the list. I just think
why they keep leaving him off the list?
No, this is the first time they left him off the list.
Nah, I think they left him off the list before.
Really? I don't remember that.
I don't think this is the first time they left him off the ESPN.
I just think maybe, I guess Paul Bacardi watched the event when Bruce played with each one, teach one. I'm not gonna say he wasn't comfortable, but he didn't look probably as dominant because it wasn't his team. He's been playing with TSL Milton. That's his team. I think more when he played with each one, teach one. Because Bruce is going on high. We all know he's a high major guard, very, very talented guard. But now he's not the main focus guy. He's playing with so many other players around him, so he wasn't the main focus guy. So I just feel like that's what maybe probably left him off the rankings, in my opinion, of what he did at late point. And just because he's a top 60 player, in my opinion. I don't care what nobody says, but I just think if Paul Bacardi watched him on live stream at Sean's event when he played with each one, teach one, he probably looked at it as well. He's not top 60 to me right now.
So I'm gonna ask this question: what does it say if Paul Bacardi only watched him that one time and Bruce has been ranked this high for this long?
He watched him twice because I'm pretty sure he watched him at Geico Nationals.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know,
I'm not sure about this one. Yeah, I'm a little confused myself.
I think everybody is.
Yeah, I do. I mean, obviously we think he belongs on there. You know what I mean? I'm not sure, but maybe it's something we're not seeing. They don't see. You know what I mean? And maybe they don't. I don't know. That it's confusing to me. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure because I mean, in my opinion, I would think he's definitely top 60, if not, maybe a little higher. I don't know.
So I'm gonna ask this next question. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't.
At this point, no, it doesn't matter. If you're not a McDonald's All-American, if you're not trying to get to that point, it doesn't matter. If you were in that mix trying to be in that top 20 or whatever, top 25, 30, then yeah, it matters. But if you ain't even in that at that point, at that high, then no, it doesn't matter.
So on the list was School?
Yeah, School. You
Dylan
had
Hunter?
Dylan Hunter, and I think you had Zarko at 60 or 61.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see Zarko on the list.
He was on there. 60.
He's on the list
for 2022.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I missed it.
Yeah, he's on there.
Yeah, he's on the list.
I missed it. I thought that was kind of weird that he wasn't on there.
He was on there.
Are we used to seeing? I think Scoot was the only kid that made it in the top 10, right?
Yeah.
With the way that California and Texas performed, as far as the number of kids that they had on the list, how long do we keep the crown as far as grassroots basketball if that continues?
I think we're always going to keep it because we got people like Sean Williams. This dude had Carmelo Anthony's son at the last tournament we was at this past weekend. So the players are always going to be here. They're going to come and go.
As long as you have one representative, you know what I mean, you good. So we got Scoot. If Scoot is the one in the top 10, okay, well you got one. Yep. You know what I mean? Now who gonna be next after that? I don't know.
No, but we got two kids in 2023, top 25.
You got Isaiah Collier and you got
Kanan Carlisle. So top 25.
Yeah. So as long as you got one or two representatives in that top,
we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, you ain't going nowhere.
Are we still?
You talking about somebody who is gonna grow overnight and pop up and become better and sneak in there? You don't know who's gonna be. We don't know.
I think Jalen Lee can be one of those kids.
You got the kid from Red Cross. I don't know what year he is, but he's already got high major offers. The 6'6" kid, 6'5", 6'7". He's the type of kid that could be, based off what he brings to the table, he could be one.
I like both those freshmen at Norcross, actually. I like the guard, too.
No, they're good.
I like the guard, too, actually.
But I feel like going back to the 2022, I feel like like Tyrese Elliott at Grayson, he might end up cracking that top 100 if he haven't already have it. I feel like when the list comes out back in the fall, it's gonna be totally different because it hasn't been. We're still in April. We got an entire summer. Now we have live periods. We have BJ Boston. BJ Boston is not. BJ Boston is good. I already
BJ Boston is okay. Yeah,
he's okay.
Yeah, we are purposely kind of ignoring that topic.
Yeah,
we know about what happened. BJ Boston is fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yep.
You already confirmed that.
But prayers up to Terrence Clark and his family.
Yep.
I can't tell you 2020, 2021, dog. I can't.
Let me tell you something.
I can't, bro.
That is extremely difficult news.
Yes,
because,
it is.
And I don't want to talk about it really, but that is extremely difficult.
I don't want to go there either.
We know what it is, man.
Yeah.
It is. First of all, the kid he's a kid. He's young.
Yes.
Second of all, he's, I don't know, weeks, months away from living out his dream.
Yes.
Like, I actually saw a locked face when I was like, why are you looking like that? Something ain't right. I was looking at his face. I'm like, what am I missing? That is.
I'm gonna tell you where it goes for me, man. And as a parent, it's the thing that my kids will never understand.
Yeah.
As a parent, you're scared. I don't know. Maybe not all parents. Maybe it's just me. Terrified every single day. Every day. You're scared every day as a parent. And I hope kids understand that. Anyway, hold on. I'm gonna try to feel better.
No, yeah, but hey.
Let's go! Hey! What you tell him? What you tell him?
I always imagine this as Locke. I feel like Locke would do this.
I'm not gonna lie, I would do this in practice. I would do this in practice while the kids are shooting.
Hey, that's Return of the Mac, right?
Yeah.
Hey, that song is so classic, so legendary.
Classic, and it's still great.
That song is still amazing. Like, I don't know what his deal is on the percentage of his plays, but he's got to be chilling somewhere because that song, you play that song, it's like you ready to go. You good
ready to go.
Yeah.
I keep that video. I've had that video for over a year, and I keep it just so, like, when we talk about sad stuff, that I can try to emotionally swing. Yeah, because, man, come on, man. Come on. Like, trying to prep for the show, I was listening to Dior came on. I was listening to a playlist. Dior came on. And I was like, I'm not gonna get another one of these. You know what I mean? Whatever was coming after Dior, like I'm not getting that now. So it just made me feel awful, bro. Like,
hey, publishing, it's awful.
Yeah.
So I'm almost like waiting, like I'm almost in disbelief. Like, nah, it ain't true. I ain't gonna believe it until Coach Cal say something.
All right, man. Let's stop talking about it. We keep talking about it. Let's get away from it.
We're going into this weekend. Let's talk about some AAU stuff. We talked about having Melo's son come down. Lala was in the gym and shut everything down. Nothing moved when Lala was in the gym.
Beautiful.
Melo, no smoke, Melo. No problems, big fella.
Beautiful. Amazing. Amazing.
Changed your life, didn't it?
Amazing. I had to call Bryce. I said, bring me come to the gym and see this.
Hey, I feel like I was in Power. I feel like I was in an episode of Power for a minute.
Yeah, I said, well, you gotta come see. Hey, but man, you know, I kind of like I ain't gonna say talk to Melo's son, but I just saw him because he was over there by me a lot. I just saw the way he moves. You could tell he's a really, really good kid. And you could tell he doesn't want. Well, first of all, I say this out. He plays like his dad, and he acts like his dad.
Man, that man New York accent is heavy.
Yeah.
Lil Melo is.
Yeah.
Yeah, his accent heavy, boy. New York.
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah. And he's mellow. Like you can
Sound like
tell.
one of them Wu-Tang dudes.
He New York. He mellow for real. Yeah, he play like mellow.
Yeah. You could tell he really doesn't. I ain't gonna say he doesn't want the attention, but he's not big on that. You could tell he just want to be a hoop and he just want to be a kid.
So yeah.
And you could just tell, cause you know, he was joking around, playing with younger kids. You know, I was peeping that, and I'm like, dang, this kid really doesn't probably even want all that hype on himself right now. He just want to enjoy being a kid.
Yeah, he definitely he's definitely gonna be really. I can see him being really, really, really good at his junior year of high school. Like,
yeah, he's gonna be good later on.
Like when he gets to that sophomore, junior year, you're gonna see. I think we're gonna see something special.
Yeah, because you know that highlight tape. No.
That highlight tape wasn't hitting on nothing. Yeah.
But you got to do it.
Yeah, I saw him pumping. Hey, this is a good question, Bryce. What go-go band you listen to?
Man, come on,
ain't DC like that.
What you mean I ain't DC like that? First and foremost, the only answer that I can ever give you is because the only band that I really only ever listen to. Well, I listen to whoever, but my favorite band is Backyard. Like, what you mean? And y'all probably don't know nothing about Backyard.
Play a song right now, Bryce. You ain't got it on your phone.
What you mean? I got everything on my phone. I play a song for you. Hold up. I play a song for you since y'all insist on and testing my nativeness. I don't even know if Spotify has. Oh, they sure do. Hold up, let me see.
I still ain't got no mumbo sauce or nothing from Bryce.
Nah, you have to go to DC for that, my guy. All right, what you want me to play?
Mom Duke said represent DC.
You want me to go 1999? How far back you want me to go?
Hey man, I just want you to play whatever you like.
Let me see. That's too far back. Nah, that ain't it. I'm gonna give you a classic. It's just a classic joint right here. You know what I'm saying? It's something silly. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know about this, man. Come on. Locke don't know nothing about this. He ain't gonna like this.
Not at all.
Hey, I feel like we gotta go to DC. We gotta go to a party.
Let me see if I can find some UCB for you real quick.
Man, Bryce ain't going out, bro.
Hey, now that's one time I would come out of the house. I'd do it. We going
you don't want. We ain't going to go-go's, bro.
Why not? That sounds like it's fun, bro.
Yeah, we ain't doing that. I want you to walk out. Hold on, I'm gonna give you one more, and then we gonna call it a day. Hold on, I'm gonna give you one more classic. You know what I'm saying? Hold up, and then we're gonna be done. We're gonna move on to the next day. I'm on YouTube. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second.
I remember the documentary about DC and Mike Beasley and KD was kind of
mutual.
Mm-hmm.
I just said
Mike Beasley is my favorite college player ever.
There you go. Little UCB for you. He's playing on the radio.
I've heard it before.
This is one of the most classic UCB. This has 2.3 million views. This is one of the most classic songs. This is Wale started too. You know what I'm saying? Wale started with UCB.
Hey, Bryce gonna get us banned off Twitter.
Yeah, y'all ass.
I know, right?
I'm with it.
What you know about this? You don't know nothing about
Hey,
this.
so Bryce, you telling me that people are committing violent acts to a song like this?
I mean, that's just one song, though.
I feel like that's a fun vibe.
Dre, let's listen. When they start calling your neighborhoods,
You gotta go.
yeah.
And listen, every place that I've ever been to, when they start calling neighborhoods, it's time to go.
You know what time? Yeah, they start calling neighborhoods, and this dude from over here, from Northeast, this dude Southeast, this dude from Montgomery County, and they start. Next thing you know,
It's time to go.
yeah. Nah, we ain't Chuck Brown. Yeah, of course Chuck Brown, but nah.
Hey, man, that's normal where I'm from. You always gotta throw your setup.
That's what they do.
No, because where I'm from, when they start calling them setup,
hey Drake, but this is a different kind of this. You ain't this different, bro.
You ain't walking out like Bryce said.
Like when you went to Maryland, where you go? Just the Mather. You really ain't getting no tour of DC.
No, I went out. I went to the casinos.
Oh, you was in Maryland, you know.
I went to the mouth. I went to
but you didn't go to DC though.
Bro, I don't know. I went out. I found me a club. I went out. I found me a casino. I went to the casino.
The jankiest gentleman's club that I've ever been to in my life was in DC. It was the craziest experience of my. It was really weird, bro.
But listen,
it was really weird.
The day party and the brunch scene. Oh shoot. And in DC, it like that.
Yeah, I really wasn't digging DC food though.
I mean, yeah, you probably
had a good time.
I mean, the food. I mean, it ain't no different than any other food, honestly.
Nah, man, I went to a soul food spot. It was horrible. I literally wrote on the receipt on my tip, "Fire to cook."
You got different kind of taste.
Yeah, a lot of people complaining about food everywhere we go.
Different kind of taste.
That
everybody can't cook.
I don't want to get shot though. Hey, I remember one time I took Dave with me to Louisville, and we were actually at a funeral, and it was a bunch of Crips at the funeral home, because you know how they do small towns. You got multiple wakes in the same day, different rooms or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, you should have seen Dave's face when we pulled up and that sea of blue was out there, and Dave like froze, like, bro, are we good? I was like, yeah, no, they're not doing a drive-by. It felt like the same. It felt like the same type of vibe that you gave me when you was like, hey, yo, I'm not taking my mom's up in here. Like, where you got me at, bro? I'm not taking my mom's in here. Is this tournament that's happened that Hoopsin is doing in Louisville, is that gonna be the new wave? These huge 500 team tournaments? Is that gonna be
I ain't going nowhere. I ain't driving nothing nowhere for no daggone basketball unless it's Peace Jam.
But I think it's gonna be the new. It's like I always look at it. There are certain teams that just route certain tournaments, certain people that throw programs. Yeah, it's just Hoop Scene gonna cater to their people. So they got teams maybe in Louisville, the Midwest, coming, because everybody can't come to Atlanta. They should want to come, but everybody can't come. So what Hoop Scene's doing, you can't really knock it.
Nah,
you can't. Well, I'm not knocking it. I'm asking you a question, not even because it's them. I'm more so asking events of that size, where it's 500 teams, 600 teams.
Yes.
Is that the new wave? Will you get the amount of exposure that you need to get?
That's what I was gonna say. If those teams feel like they're getting the benefit of the exposure and whatever they want from that event, then so be it. Then why not? But
I
don't feel like I'm me personally. I'm not trying to drive 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? For an event that I don't know I'm gonna get. I only want to drive 45 minutes. Like, and I could do the same thing in my backyard. That's just the way I feel about it. Like, so, but it's no knock to them. They look like they have a great event. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like an amazing event. But am I gonna get the coverage I need 6 hours away?
Yeah.
I think that's the same thing that Robert Alfonso is saying is my same concern. Is I think I look at it two ways. For the kids, for that experience, the kids will probably love it. Seeing all those teams and all those, you know what I mean? Like the kids probably will look at that and feel great about it because there's so many teams and it's so, you know what I mean? It's so packed. I think we're looking at it from a different angle because we are the adults in a situation that have to get kids recruited, and we're gonna feel like, yo, this shit is impossible. Like how, like who's covering my game? Who's gonna tweet out on my kids? Can I even get a videographer up here to, you know what I'm saying? And what type of exposure am I really gonna get? I think that's the question that we are.
Yeah.
And I feel you, but I look at it like this. Sean had his event at Lake Point. A lot of teams that normally get coverage didn't probably get the coverage they normally get because they were newer teams that you normally don't see. We normally don't have teams that on the radar events as much. So it's like they getting all the action. Yeah, because this is a team that you normally don't see. So I would just say stay consistent. So it's like that's why like the Georgia King, certain teams always rock with Sean, and certain teams flat just rock with Hoopsin because even if they don't get coverage that weekend as much, this weekend it's 300 teams. It's not 500 teams like it was last time. So they're gonna still get their coverage anyway because they're gonna keep rocking with Sean or rocking with Hoopsin regard. You might not get a coverage that event.
Here's the thing. Here's my thing. You can get the coverage, which is cool. The tweets is cool. The videos is cool. But when it comes down to it, I need to know that those scouting reports or those phone calls are being answered and being forwarded to if it's somebody that is on my team. You know what I mean? That's all. That's the sole purpose. So is that necessarily going to happen if it's 500 teams? It might. I don't know. It might. And if it does, fantastic. But I need to know that if I'm playing in a live period event, and even if it's only 10 teams, I don't care how many teams, I need to know that if somebody's interested, here's how you can reach them. And I don't know if that's going to happen, if that happens at those huge events all the time. There's got to be kids that are, you know what I mean? There's got to be somebody that's not getting covered.
Everybody's not going to get covered.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I just wonder what changes about, the game. It's one thing, like you said, to get a facility to hold all these teams. It's another thing to get the teams to fill that facility. But it's another thing to be able to evaluate, cover, scout, tweet out, provide the media coverage, because that's the buzzword that we like to use, right? It's exposure. And we always challenge people, or at least I challenge parents sometimes when they talk about, I want to play in higher level exposure events. I want more exposure. The question I always ask is exposure to who?
Right.
Exposure from who?
From who?
And exposure to what exactly? And like we say, getting a tweet isn't the same. Like everybody's account ain't created equal. I'll use this for example. There are people who have been used to getting players from you a lot longer than they would be getting evaluations or players from me. So me and you could tweet out on the same team, but coaches are used to getting are probably more used to getting players from you than they are from me. So those two tweets, we could say the exact same tweet, tag the exact same kid, and it's not going to be received the same way. Versus I could tweet out about a kid and a dad or somebody that just started their scout service could tweet out about a kid, and it's not going to be received the same way. So there are levels to
it. Yeah.
There's levels to this.
Yeah. And I think sometimes people get the idea that if I don't play certain teams, I can't get to a certain level of recruitment.
Yeah.
Now, yes, obviously you want good matchups because that brings coaches out and stuff like that or whatever. But at the end of the day, the kid has to perform.
Exactly.
The kid has to perform, whether you're playing a bad team, whether you're playing a good team. Now, when you're playing a bad team or a lesser team, you better perform.
You got to go to work.
You got to go to work. And I think that's what a lot of people miss in this AAU game is like, you have to do something. You have to go to work.
That, and you know, like I told a parent over the weekend, like she was like tripping by the exposure. I'm like, look, your son has to be good. Like if he's not good, I'm not finna be tweeting on him. He has to be good. He has to perform because, like you say, we can't just tweet. Like you say, we just can't be tweeting on the kid just to be tweeting on the kid.
No,
I get a bunch. I get a bunch of text messages and say, "Hey, can you put this out on my kid? Can you do this? Can you do that?" And I'm like, bro, I watched your kid for 2 games. I can't tweet on him. He ain't played bad, but it wasn't worth the tweet. Because if I tweet on him and somebody asks me about him, I'm gonna tell him the truth.
That's the thing right there. That's the thing. That's the thing that not only with the tweets, and we're gonna have more talk about mixtapes probably next week, but I wonder if people understand when you put out all of these highlights and mixes, yeah, it may get eyes on you. It may make people ask about you, but then do you understand what has to be said?
Hey, phone calls are being made, and then coaches ain't no dummy. They could tell a highlight just to see, okay, this kid basically getting just layups. And they getting breakaway layups, so they looking out. He ain't doing nothing but cherry picking.
And that's what I'm trying to tell people. You can't fool. Like, not, and I'm not saying you're trying to fool somebody, but you can't, like, what we're watching, they know what they see.
Yeah.
And shit, even us, we know what we see. And sometimes as parents, you know what you see.
But they see it with the daddy goggles.
You got to take those goggles off. You got to take them off. And you got to be realistic and understand that the sooner that as a parent that you identify the weakness and you attack that weakness, like when I remember when I was a kid, the weakness was, he can't go left. Make him go left. It was always, he ain't got a left. Now, obviously that has changed now because kids are so much more athletic. You know what I mean? Like things have changed, but that was always a thing. Like, yo, he can't, or he either can't handle the ball or he can't go left. Make him go left. Now it's like, okay, well, can he shoot? Does his jump shot translate? And does he have high motor? Does he play hard? Does he, does he get things done? And you can't lie about that. You know what I mean? Like it's showing. So if you are out there and you're not being productive and you're not dominating even this level at which we are, how do you think you're going to go to college and dominate or even compete and keep up with grown men? So as parents, it's like the sooner that, and it's easier for me to say, obviously, because I'm not in that situation. But the sooner that you identify with the weakness and you really attack the weakness, you know what I mean? And then you show your strength even more is the moment that your stock will rise. You know what I mean? Like, I know for me, like if I was playing right now, I probably would have to get, I know I'm not in the greatest shape, so I'll have to get in better shape. I know I can't jump like that. I can, maybe a little dunk here and there. So I know I have to get on the Vertimax. I can shoot. So some kids have different weaknesses. Some kids need to learn the game, tempo and pace, and when to stall, when to drive and kick. The sooner that you take those goggles off and really attack the weakness is when that your recruitment will change.
Take the goggles off and quit worrying about the next kid. Oh,
That's
why
for
this
sure.
kid? Why this kid got this? Why my son? Where's the reason? Like, you can't. I think a lot of times parents don't see their kids' flaws at all. They feel like, okay, well, he's doing this, he's doing that. Well, apparently he's not doing enough because he doesn't have anything going on.
Well, to me, it's the irrational comparisons. To me, is that you can't. If your son is 6 foot, you can't compare your son's recruitment to somebody that's 6'4", 6'5". You can't. You could be better than him.
Yeah,
You're
you can be way
probably
more
better than
productive.
him. And it's not gonna matter. He's 6'4". So you can't, you just can't do that. Y'all might be too young to know or care, but I just seen it go across timeline that Shock G just passed away. 57 years old.
The one that put the on you.
Yeah, man.
That's the only song I know from him though.
Digital Underground, Shock G.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey man, we ain't no let up, man. It's like that going. You got DMX, then you got Black Rob.
Black Rob, yeah.
Golly.
Shock G now.
Yeah.
Shock G now. Life is precious, man. Hug your family. If 2020 and 2021 have taught us nothing, it should be that to care about the people around you and not get involved into no petty shit. And you know what? Something else that I wasn't going to talk about, and I'm going to find the time now to talk about it now, is that all the questions before about people asking, hey, do I have beef with Middle Georgia? Do I have beef with, the guys from off Georgia? No, I ain't beefing with nobody black, dog.
He said nobody black.
Life too short, man. Hey, man, life too short, bro. I'm not. The answer to that question was no, and the answer to that question has always been no. It is what it is. I ain't got no problem. I'm rooting for your success.
No beef like a nigga. Like you can't see.
No, right.
Across the border, look, can't look across the street.
Right. Beef is when ICU is guaranteed to be a ICU, and that's no.
Hey,
ain't no beef, dog. So
we ain't gonna have no B4 mixtape.
Yeah.
Atlanta edition.
Can I ask you a question? And this might specifically go for Dre. Dre, what are the top 3 podcasts that you listen to non-related to? It doesn't have to be basketball. Just what are the top 3 podcasts that you listen to?
That I listen to?
Yeah.
I don't miss Joe Budden's podcast.
Since you don't miss?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you don't miss it. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not missing that.
Yeah.
And it's Drink Champs.
Drink Champs.
Yeah.
Absolutely love Drink Champs.
Mm-hmm.
I recently got on Earn Your Leisure. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I love Mike Tyson's Hotboxing.
I didn't know he had one.
Yeah, Mike Tyson has Hotboxing, which I like. I used to be on $1 Million Worth of Game real heavy until Dev was gone, but I actually like Dev on the show, so I don't listen to it as much.
Yeah,
I didn't like how that whole thing.
Which one is Dev? That was a girl?
That was he was before the girl, and he was like the producer of the podcast. He was the audio guy for the podcast.
I must have started after that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I listen to I like that podcast too. What's my man name? The writer from Canada, the one that wrote The Tipping Point. Malcolm Gladwell. Malcolm Gladwell has an amazing podcast. It's if you don't like history, then you probably won't like it. But Malcolm Gladwell has a podcast that I think is really dope that I listen to all the time. Those are probably the top ones I listen to a lot.
Okay.
Man, I be over here listening to Kevin Samuel. That man there is hilarious.
Hey, let me tell you something. Kevin Samuels, people don't give that man credit. He saying some really intelligent things now.
He say stuff that we want to say. He said for us, in my opinion.
Hey, he say some, and it's not just for men and women.
For women,
Like it's just for he's saying stuff about men too.
Yeah.
He definitely has some interesting points. And it's definitely not like what people think by the clips that they cut from him.
Yeah, they don't listen to the entire thing.
Nah.
It's that's one thing that I can say. Like the one thing that I feel like that he addresses that I can speak from having experience, you know, been married, been divorced, been married, like that men are not robots, dog. Like we're human beings that need that need, and it's crazy. It's so simple to say, but I've been in too many situations where it doesn't happen. We need the same things that every other human being. Like people think that men don't need compliments or like compliments.
Man,
like,
I'm telling you,
it's the simplest stuff. Like, yeah,
man, my boy on right now. My boy on right now. Hey, man. Hey, I be telling girls, I say, hey, man, don't come to me like that. I'm a high value man. I'm very high value.
Locke said he pre-select. He said he pre-select.
This man, it was funny though. This man, is funny. He's funny.
I could talk a lot about that stuff, but I've, had to live it. You gotta live a while. I think the misconception is that for women dating men is hard, and for men dating women is easy, and that's just not reality.
No. Well, you know what? I think we got put to this way higher standard than, because he made sense. We would date a broke chick, but a lady won't date a broke man, a broke guy,
for sure. Or if she's dated a dude that has money, she's never going back.
Yeah.
It's a lot. That's a full podcast. I could go there, and I'm not gonna go there. But
I go through it. I'm in Atlanta. I've dated. Like, I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the sweet.
Yeah.
So
I will say, if you have any ladies watching the show, man, hey man, get your man a card. Say thank you. Tell me looks nice. Tell me smells good.
I'm telling you. Tell him his haircut look when he fresh out the chair.
Yeah. Create the same type of intimacy that you want outside of the bedroom. We like those things too,
bro. Hey, he said about. Hey, Dr. Love said they look down to the 9 to 5 guys, and you know what? I think why is that? Because Instagram keeps showing people. Like I know people be telling me, well, I'm about to buy this, $500 pairs of shoes, but your car raggedy.
Right. Hey,
yeah.
I listened to Earn Your Leisure on Monday. I hate to switch it up on you like that, but I was looking at a comment. I listened to Earn Your Leisure on Monday morning on my way to work the whole way this week, and they was dropping some gems. Like, they were saying that people will tell you that you should have 3 to 6 months worth of savings when they got a year to 2 savings. Just small things like that. How people will play you, thinking that, oh no, you good. You got 3 to 6 months a year. Okay, but what happens if a pandemic hit? Then what you gonna do? So that's why I was just asking, like, what y'all listen to, because it's always interesting.
Or it expect you to spend 3 to 6 months of your income on a wedding ring.
No. Yeah.
Oh,
you guys haven't had to do that.
I don't know. Bryce may have. I don't know.
Are you spending 6 months of your salary on a wedding ring, Bryce?
6 months of my salary. 6 months of my
Yeah.
salary. We talking about before or after taxes?
Gross is what you're supposed to.
6 months of my salary? Nah, that's a lot. Nah, that's a lot of money. 6?
Lock, are
Three.
you spending 6 months of your salary on a wedding ring?
Nah, I had spent quite a few coins, but I don't know if it was that much.
Dude,
Hey, you bought a ring before, Bryce? Then we can have this conversation. Me and you can have this conversation because I bought one too.
Yeah, I can have that. I'm far from that.
So after everything ended, what happened with the ring?
Oh no, we on live right now. I can't.
Hey, you know what Bryce did?
Hey.
You know how T.I. did. Hey, you know how T.I. did old girl on Atlanta? He pulled that chain on. Bryce pulled that ring and said, "What ring?"
Yeah, when he pulled the chain off.
Yeah. He pulled the chain out new.
Hello?
That's what Bryce did. What ring?
Nah, y'all tripping. We on. You gonna have somebody walk up to the gym to me in the gym saying something crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, did y'all see the dude that brought out like 4 or 5 rings and he showed it to his girl?
That was the dumbest shut up ever seen. That was Twitter shit.
And he told her to pick one. I was like, man, you going overboard, man. You send you send the goal too high. Like I'm a regular Joe. I work a 9 to 5. Like, dude, hey, I still got rent to pay.
That was and I mean, what's the point of that, bro? Like, you gonna bring out 5 different rings so she can shoot, man? That was definitely for Twitter. That was so stupid, bro.
Hey man, you gotta put on, man. But then you got the helicopter in the background.
Listen, that's actually, like you said, Locke. That's part of the problem, bro. Instagram,
man.
Twitter.
I'm gonna say this. I do think that people do too many things, too many expressions of love for everybody else to see. It's like buying rims. You inside the car.
Hey, I do love
you. Have no.
Hey. I had me some 24s in my life, bro. I
was hitting too many potholes, but I love
once you get in the car, you can't enjoy your rims.
Now you can't.
No. That's a bad comparison, Dre. That's because, bro, Dre, when I had 24s, they was worth every penny.
Hey, I want to put them back on my car, but I know as soon as I hit a pothole on Atlanta Road, I'm gonna be on stranded, so I can't put it back on. But I do love them. I love some rims, black, chrome.
I compare it because of this, like, and I've always felt like this. Honestly, is because I don't even believe in like spending a lot of money on a wedding.
That's different.
The ring, the wedding, like, why am I spending a lot of money on something for everybody else to enjoy? Like, I would, to me, it should be reversed. Why are people not spending $20,000 on a honeymoon instead of the wedding? Like, I know people have a $20,000 wedding and then have to go to work on Monday. If you got married, you had the weekend off, and you got to go to work on Monday, and you just spent $20,000 on your wedding.
Pulling up at the courthouse.
Like,
pulling up at the courthouse.
I'm working on a teacher style, but my stock went up when I got 26.
I'm telling you, bro, rims.
Hey,
stock went up, bro.
Rims? When I had them,
Hey, Atlanta is so superficial, bro.
Hey,
Atlanta is so superficial.
People thought my car was like a Benz. Every time I seen it, I put up, I had them chrome 20s on. They're like, "Yo, is that a Benz?" I'm like, "Nah,
bro." With the blue, you gotta have the blue lights. Oh man, then the interior done. Hey man, I was on all that country stuff back then.
Hey, on the truck I had before, I painted them things black the whole truck out. I love wheels, boy.
Now I just keep it simple. I don't want all that attention.
Yeah, I keep it simple now because it's just too much work and hassle to deal with bent rims all the time.
And do you want the young lady that pulled up on you because you have the rims? Do you really want that?
When I was younger, yes, I wanted all that.
He said,
I wanted all the smoke with you.
I wanted all that. Oh, I'm pulling up. What's up? Get in. What's up? I want all of that. Now, not all that, but back then, oh yeah, I need all that.
I got you.
That's what you bound for. You bound for the attention. You buy. Look, I look at this. I didn't buy rims to impress dudes, guys. I bought rims so you like, okay, when I leave the club, a girl see what I'm driving, she like, oh, he's balling. Oh, it's superficial. So it's like, yeah, look, hey man, I had two, I had two 15s in my trunk with RPM gauges in there. I had the interior done. Like I was with all of that. All my school checks are going to my cars. And I just did it for female. I did it for clout because I wanted their attention. I used to park cricket. Like I never parked straight. That's why I can't park now. Like I used to park cricket so people used to see my car. When I used to go out to the clubs and stuff. So it's all for clout. But now I just got this simple ass Malibu.
I love my simple life. I've been there, a little bit, not to a extreme extent, but I've been there for a little bit, and I didn't like it. I'll be honest, I didn't like it.
Them were the good days, man. Ooh.
Hey man, we getting out of here. Because I can see where Locke is going. Hey, when Locke looked up, it looked up at the jig. He was staring at the.
Man,
I can see exactly what Locke was saying.
I was in the country.
I know.
Man, ain't not much power.
Hey, listen.
Attention that I had.
Listen, I moved from Louisville, Kentucky to Atlanta and got on. So I definitely know. Going back to Louisville, I definitely know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Dude, man, yeah. Then Gucci Man was high. I was with jewelry. I had a chain. I had a big old watch. And all my stuff came. Huh?
Can you imagine, like me? I used to wear a chain with big diamond earrings, with a big crusted out watch with diamonds on it. Like, yeah.
Yo, bro. You see that? Hold on. You see that? That was me.
Hey man, trying to get signed.
Hey,
this is a good question, Bryce. Y'all having homecoming?
I don't think they're gonna miss two homecomings in a row. So I think the vaccine is out. I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna block tailgate off now. So in order to get on campus to tailgate, you're gonna have to have that COVID vaccine. Just my I don't know for sure. I'm just saying that's just a thought. Now, will people be able to get on? There's too many ways and access points to get on campus. Obviously, you can find a way to get on. But I think, and aside from the tailgate itself, people in Atlanta, promoters who went to Morehouse, are going to still have parties. So, like, they were having parties during the middle of COVID. So they definitely gonna have them downtown in the city. Like, homecoming is going to be on and popping this year, pretty sure.
Hey, so shout out to Mo B too. I heard Mo B got their accreditation back.
Yeah, Morris Brown's back.
How long before? Does anybody know how long before Morris Brown is officially up and running? Before basketball is back at Mo B? Before
I think it's gonna have to do with a money situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
money's looking
because
like
that's good.
That's the opportunity for kids to go to Morris Brown, whether you're a student or you're in a band or in athletics. That's a whole nother set of another school. So
for sure.
I don't know what Morris Brown's basketball was like back then. Do you know?
I can't speak to it in detail.
Yeah,
I can't speak. I remember them having a team, but I can't speak to.
And I don't know how it looks now because it needs to be kept and taken care of. But they have probably the best football arena in the AAUC. They have an amazing facility. I don't know if it's the best. It's really good.
I thought part of the school or something had caught on fire. I hope whatever happened that Morris Brown gets up and running as soon as possible. We need you, and I'm so happy that y'all are back. So if y'all know anybody, connected with Moby, definitely put us in touch. I'd love to bring somebody from Morris Brown on the show to kind of talk about the road back, because it was taught that no other school has been able to win back their accreditation. So it's a lot of work that went into them getting their accreditation back. And Huff is saying that Morris Brown won't start back D2. I'm cool with that. Whatever they got to do. Whatever they got to do to come.
What would they start back as?
Probably NAIA.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. To me, it's. But look, that's another 12 roster spots or whatever for kids to play in the city.
And thousands of kids for them to go to college too.
Go to college, 100%. And that experience down at the AUC is
nothing,
So
nothing
I'm
like
happy. Happy for Morris Brown. I'm happy for all the prospective students. I'm happy for everybody that's stuck with Moby through all of this, because they've been without that accreditation for a long time. So happy for everybody involved. Get us in touch with somebody in Moby, man. Let's have somebody on the show. For sure. Happy they kept that property. So, hey, but that's our show. We'll be back next week with another podcast, man. This is the Love the Game podcast. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Hey, man, make sure y'all pray for everybody at the University of Kentucky. Pray for BJ Boston. He's okay. BJ is okay. I see reports, people confused about that. BJ is fine, but still witnessed something traumatic. So pray for him. Pray for his family. Pray for everybody at the University of Kentucky, man. So love the game. We out.